hunters are blue and dead, like they came straight out the cemetery. And I like red on the coupe, just like the heart I left way back in February. Haters gon' know what to do, they tryna read me, but I'm not the library. I don't just wanna be great, nigga, I wanna be legendary. All of my hunters are blue and dead, like they came straight out the cemetery. And I like red on the coupe, just like the heart I left.
Well, we're back. Bet you didn't think that was gonna happen, did you? God damn it. Hey, listen, man. This show is either the most lucky show or the most cursed fucking show ever. You've never seen no shit like this. 3 different seasons, 2 different deaths, 3 or 4 different producers, and yeah. You thought I never thought that we would get back to this point. You know what I'm saying? But listen, they've been begging for that Raw Truth show back, and my pockets is a hurting. So we got to get back into business all the way and get this podcast money. So want to give a special shout out to, first and foremost, my wife, who acting funny over there at the table right now. Okay. Maybe this shout out will give me some player points, but shout out to my wife for really just being by my side and pushing me to go back to the greatness. Big shout out to Amelia and X, and big shout out to big shout outs to really, that's it. Yeah, fuck everybody else. Honestly, shit. You know, the people that really fuck with you, it don't matter how much time go past, uh God will bring shit back together with the right people. So really appreciate Amelia. She'll be on the camera shortly. But thank you, Amelia. Because Lord knows I'm not about to operate this fucking equipment.
No problem, boss.
Yeah, I just do the content and shit. You know what I mean? Like the shit that make you laugh. Now, without any further ado, we're not gonna run a full episode today. We're just gonna do the proper grammar and the legendary interview segment. With that being said, man, I got my best friend of 33 or so years with me, a pioneer in hip hop in Arlington, Texas, a Moss Hill Block veteran, the one, the only, Jae-Streetz. And when you say his name, say it with a, yeah, man.
Hey! Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
right, man. I appreciate it.
Nah, man, look, I
That was a good
appreciate you.
intro.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a good
Look,
one.
I could
Yeah.
not think of nobody else that I feel like really deserves that highlight, especially for this first episode back, you know, after just going through the fire. I don't know if I've ever told you, but this legendary segment, man, you know, this isn't a thing for local artists. This isn't a pity party for niggas trying to get on. It's exactly what it says. Not every time is it somebody I have on here that's music, like, you know, their forte is music. It could be somebody that's done something legendary in business or entrepreneurship or community shit. You know what I mean? In this case, I got a legendary thinker, a legendary singer, a legendary rapper, and a legendary loyal nigga. And I just felt it was appropriate to have you on for the first episode. So really appreciate you coming through, bro. Yeah.
Yes,
so I always
That is the
wanted
raw truth.
big facts, man. I always wanted to have you involved, you know, or just to have you on an episode so you could kind of see, you know, how dope this shit really is anyways. But so, as you guys remember, how we normally would do things and how we will do things again when we get there, we'll have a different setup. We'll have our mini bar back set up. And so, like I was going to tell you, we usually have the legendary artists that come. We pick your drink of choice and have it available on ice for you when you get here. But since we improvising, you tell me about the legendary drink you brought in today. And I noticed that you keep bringing this shit every time you come over for the last couple months. And I'm starting to get hooked on these hoes, man. Tell me about this shit, man.
I don't know, man, but I seen it at that good old neighborhood Walmart.
Good old Coors Golden Banquet beer.
Now here's the question: did you ring up the 6-pack as a lime or a tomato?
No, not this time. You just told me about
Oh,
that
you
the
paid
last
these
time.
niggas.
Yeah. We didn't do it the Moss Head way. We didn't do it the Moss Head way this time, man.
Nah, man. So
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
it's a good beer, man. Coors Golden Banquet. We'll have a Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay us nothing. So, in the words of Brock Lesnar. So, all right, man. So jumping right in, we're gonna get to the legendary interview segment. I'm kind of just going off the head with a couple things real quick, and then we're gonna jump right into the proper grammar of the week, which is a song called "Cover Girl" by Bi. Why it's like one of my favorite songs, I don't know, because I really hate listening to female rappers that talk about exploiting niggas. Like their whole thing is, I just all I want to do is use you. You know what I'm saying? I usually hate that shit, but this bitch just be jamming. I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like this song in particular,
I
I
don't think
fucks
I
with.
heard this yet.
Oh, bro, it's fire, and we're gonna go over that here in a second. Everybody knows the proper grammar is the most popular segment of the show by far, but we'll get into that. First, I would like to talk about the MMA aspect. Oh, look, it's Black Ass. How you doing, Black Ass? This is my dog right there.
That is not his name.
Look, no, that's his name. That's what I call him. Black Ass. Look at him. See, it's not politically
His name
correct.
is not.
Eclipse, take a look. Look at the fucking screen. Look at the screen. Nah, Eclipse is a cool kitty. Uh, damn, I guess that's dope, bro. Like to have animals and shit on the show. It'll be a goddamn zoo in this motherfucker soon. No pun intended, Amelia. Shit. With that being said, don't mind this. Don't mind his ass. Pause. No diddler.
That's crazy.
Look at him, man. He just always pointing his ass at somebody and walking around.
Focus.
He knows he's on the show.
Look, this nigga's gonna end up becoming a fucking mascot on the show. Look at him. They're gonna love him.
He's like, I want in on this
shit. Nuts, man. All right, so look, I don't know if you tuned in yesterday, but it had a real important card. It was UFC 310, I think. And honestly, man, there wasn't really nothing. I mean, it's a whole new wave of superstars, man. All of them mostly Russian motherfuckers with names you can't pronounce, and it's not the same as it was before. You had your Brock Lesnar's, you had your Conor McGregor's. Like these dudes don't really have no talent on the mic. They're just great fighters, but they're boring. And when they try to talk shit in press conferences, it's just a lot of broken English. I'm not. I really wasn't gonna watch the card. I really wanted to see it because our boy Crazy Horse Anthony Smith was fighting, and
Anthony Smith, okay.
Man, if you don't know Anthony Smith, man, he's one needle short of the fucking haystack at this point. But he had a good battle. He got smoked real bad by what's it? Reyes.
Yeah, Reyes smoked him. Dominic Reyes.
Dominic Reyes
Damn.
Put on a hurt clinic, and it was almost like Anthony Smith just wanted to be destroyed at this point. But there was oh yeah, he got smoked. And there was a couple other good fights on there too, but just kind of talk about like the state of the MMA thing, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing Pereira move up to heavyweight, and I could smell him challenging Jones. Jones says he wants that fight, and he says he won't give Tom Aspinall
who you
the
think
time
will
of
win
that.
Who you think will win that?
Oh, look, that's one of them ones, bro. You know I ain't never been a John Jones fan, but man, when a motherfucker just keep proving you wrong consistently, like he might be the fucking GOAT, bro. But Pereira is like Shao Kahn, bro. Like that's the fight I think they need to make. That's the fight Dana White wants to make. That's the fight John Jones wants to make. And I know Pereira will definitely want it. But then you got Tom Aspinall's English ass over here, basically.
Yeah, he's just waiting.
And he basically just talking shit about Jones, like, oh, you're ducking me. Like, he's not ducking you, bro. Like, a win for over you means nothing for John Jones' career. And I feel John Jones on that. It's like, no, nigga, I want super fights. Like, you're not even half as popular as Michael Bisping was in his prime. So it's like, just him beating him is just another fucking X on the chalkboard. You know what I mean? But something a fight with Pereira would be fucking nuts. You know what I mean? And it would really change the landscape of a lot of shit.
No.
Pereira would be the only one to be a 3 division champion. You know what I mean? To go 3 division champ. So I would probably call it John Jones with a possible to Pereira though, because Pereira's fucking unpredictable, bro. And they're close to age, but Jones is a little bit younger, bro. And Jones just seems to be able to fucking conquer whatever he does.
How old is Pereira?
Pereira's 38 and Jones is like 36 now. So I know it's like a 2-year age gap. So Pereira's 38.
Jones was our age.
No, he's younger than us. No, I think, matter of fact, that's what this shit's for right here. Hey, Siri, how old is John Jones?
She made an appearance on the show.
Jones is 37 years old.
Oh, John Jones is 37. Hey, Siri, how old is Alex Pereira? Wow, so 37. So I guess they're the same age. So, well, then maybe there isn't a huge difference there. I mean, that's another reason why you make this fight. You know what I mean? Perfectly evenly matched.
They need to give Tom Aspinall something.
Yeah, because here's the thing:
he should have the belt right now.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, Tom Aspinall came, fights for the interim belt, wins the interim belt, and for the first time ever defends an interim belt, and still doesn't get a title shot against John Jones. I've never seen an interim belt defended before. And
nah, hold on, who did that? Somebody did do that.
I've never, not that I can remember, do I ever remember seeing an interim belt that was defended like it?
Maybe not.
Yeah, Tom Aspinall is definitely getting the shit end of the stick, but who cares? Like, who is Tom Aspinall? Like, you know what I mean? You when you've done as much as John Jones does, you deserve to call your shots at this fucking point. You know what I mean? Seriously, you definitely deserve to call your shots. And with this much left in his career, you know what I mean? You don't know how much he's gonna have left in his career. So, with that being said, I think John Jones should do whatever he wants to do, and people should kind of just get behind that shit. You know what I mean? Like, so let me ask you this before we move on to the next subject. Who's your favorite UFC fighter of all time and why?
Who is my favorite UFC fighter of all time?
And why? Past, present, don't
And
matter.
why?
And why?
Probably Fedor Emelianenko.
Why though?
Because
that's
he
a good one.
literally ran through everyone, scared everybody, and then when the most scariest person, Crow Cop, came and who was whooping everybody,
Man, boy.
he somehow beat him.
And decisively.
Then when the UFC try to throw people at him like Tim Sylvia, he comes in, beats him in like seconds, and just demolishes everybody. And then the only reason why he didn't go any further was because the contracts wasn't happening with UFC. Dana and
you know what Dana White said though. You know everybody's a legend in another organization until they get to the UFC and are made to look basic by that level of competition. And
but Tim Sylvia was the champion.
But I'm not saying
he was the whole champion. Fought Fedor, and Fedor KO'd him.
This is true, but think of it this way: like, there's a guy that fought yesterday who was the champion in Rising, 2-time champion. His first fight last night was against, I think, the featherweight champion. He automatically gets a title fight because he was a champion in Rising when he got signed. And this dude was like mad dominant, bro, like Demetrius Johnson type of shit. And everybody's like, yo, he's gonna come over here and crush this UFC champion. No, he came over here and got fucking smoked, bro. And that's why it's like, I feel like it's levels to it, but I could see an argument for Fedor, bro, because I've seen Fedor do incredible shit, bro. Like, I remember, who was the dude with the blonde hair, big swole black dude? Kevin Randleman. I remember watching I remember watching Kevin Randleman back suplex this nigga Fedor on his neck
from
where
this
nigga neck fucking bent in half, and
Fedor just rolled over and spitted him immediately.
Like, this fucking skeleton must be made out of spinal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
he was the truth, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
There was no stopping him. Anywhere he went, when he fought somebody standing up, he'll fight him standing up. They got him on the ground, he fight him on the ground. He was just destroying everybody everywhere.
I think I'm gonna say for me, man, I think my favorite of all time would either have to be Mirko Cro Cop. I mean, Mirko Cro Cop's a real life badass, bro. Like, you know, he was in special forces in
scary,
Croatia.
Yeah.
Like, you know how many
Yeah.
motherfuckers he's deaded in real life combat,
Yeah,
bro?
he
Like,
really-
I watched one of his interviews. I mean, he has so many confirmed kills with the Croatian army. It's ridiculous, bro.
He's
And-
still doing it. Well, I don't know if he's doing it anymore, but he was.
Yeah, and
last
you remember
10
what they
years.
used to say about Mirko? You know, left leg hospital, right leg cemetery.
Cemetery, yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
He was the truth. That's why Fedor was so
and he
ill.
would fight anybody, bro. And
That's
he
why
did
Fedor
fight
was so
everybody.
ill though, because
Because Fedor was one step above, bro.
Cro Cop plowed through everybody. Then they were like, "Oh, well, let's go up against Fedor," and everybody thought, "Oh, Fedor, don't fight him." Like they didn't give it to Fedor,
And
but somehow Fedor still beat him, bro.
And even if not for Mirko Cro Cop, bro, I make huge advocacy for Daniel Cormier, because I feel like Daniel Cormier, like as a human being and as a fighter, is as best as it come. He was the first ever 2-time heavyweight champion.
Motion activation. It's zoomed in.
Are we having technical
It's
difficulties?
zoomed in.
So should we zoom out?
No.
Oh, look
He's
at that. That looks
pushed.
cool. It worked. It worked. Y'all ain't got that. Y'all ain't got that shit. Look, yo, you ain't got it where you can tell your camera back up off of you and the motherfucker auto zoom back off of you. Look at it's doing it again. Look at your boy. I'm controlling it by magic. You know what I'm saying? Call me the wish man. Hold on, let's see. How do we move this whole back?
Try it just a
Come
little
back.
bit.
Come back. Come back. What'd you do? Hold it right now. Okay. So look, we're starting the technical difficulties. We knew this was gonna happen in one way or another. So what do we do? Just physically move it back?
It's gonna do it again. I don't know what motion.
Oh, you know what? I put it on group. Remember when we put it on group on the beginning? Maybe it's trying to catch somebody else in the picture or
No, I'm
something.
good. Y'all don't need this. I'm good.
Amelia, nobody cares what you think.
Huh?
Look, you know, keep on your ass. We'll make you talk some shit. We're gonna make you talk some shit tonight.
At least somebody gives
Get your ass in that camera and talk some shit back, boy. And this is gonna be fun having Amelia. I think we're gonna have Amelia permanently on the show now.
About MMA. I don't even know how to fight.
Just say Dustin Poirier is the finest one.
Man, don't listen to my wife, y'all. She's got a hard on for Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier.
His fucking hot sauce sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
girl, he gonna make my back one.
If you see this, just
Dustin, you can have her. Take her off my damn hands. Yeah. She like you. You can have her. You can have her.
Yeah, I'm saying it's cute.
You don't say
Now
I'm
Roman
cute.
Reigns used to come.
She don't say I'm cute.
Cute.
See, look, that
I wouldn't even get mad about Roman Reigns. I wouldn't even get mad
Roman
about
Reigns'
Roman Reigns.
penis is not big as mine. First off, he can be the Chaba Chief, but we all know who the real Val Venus is right here. Hello, lady.
Hey,
Bro, speaking of, bro, hold on, bro. But this is getting fun. Okay, hold on. Look. I watched earlier. When you came over, I was watching. Oh, hold on, Amelia, hold on. Please jump in here. Did you keep up with wrestling at all in the 90s? Okay.
Amelia.
Do you not remember Val Venus?
No.
So you know how all the X. You remember Val Venus?
Okay. You remember?
Now look.
It's just
what they call him now. Look, chat. You know what I'm saying? Chat. Listen to this. If you know Val Venus, then you would know this dude is severely underrated, bro. He was a great performer, but the best thing about Val Venus is his character was a porn star. I watched him do. Look, I remember this one. I caught this one watching the throwbacks on WWE, and he gets in between the link. Yeah, let me see that right there. Yeah, hold this right quick. So look, he got his towel on tucked in and shit. You know what I mean? So look, he Val Venus hops in the ring, and he does his whole "hello, ladies," and he says the holidays are coming up. You remember that one? He says, so in between Christmas and New Year's, come and visit the Big Valboski. You know what I mean? bro, and that's all he would do. He would just say one little smart ass.
He said Christmas and
He
New
said
Year's.
everyone knows that the
Not Christmas,
something is
Thanksgiving.
between.
New Year's.
Yeah, he says that the real holidays are in between Christmas and New Year's. So come visit the Big Valboski in between holidays. That's what it was. This motherfucker hilarious Val Venus was, bro. But anyways, hello ladies. But yeah, now moving on though,
Don't have him do that shit.
bro, I swear we're gonna run clips of Val Venus on this show.
You do the dance.
Oh, I hit that hoe. I know how to do the spinner.
Oh, I ain't never seen it before. Can you do it?
Yeah,
Nah.
we don't know.
No.
Made it up. The Big Valboski.
Wait a minute. Do you know how to do it?
Then that means that he don't really know how to do it.
Do you know how to do it?
Oh, look. Okay, now we got it on Facebook. So look, we're going to highlight it. We're going to comment it. And we're going to followers it. Okay, cool. All right, so look, jumping back in, since we got Amelia done jumped in now.
I can go back.
You don't know nothing about MMA, you say? I mean, do you got any? I mean, have you seen any MMA fights?
Yeah.
Where at? Like on your block or on TV
No,
or?
I was just one building that they used to go to, and it was real.
Like on a local level? Okay. But you don't know nothing. You don't know who Conor McGregor is?
I do know who he is.
What do you think about that lawsuit that for sexual misconduct that he lost?
He lost it.
Man, listen, this
She
is
said that you
bro.
lost.
I went over this whole case and actually watched it like on YouTube's Court TV or whatever. Man, this chick, the same chick that's claiming he assaulted her and just drug her through the mud, was caught on camera like 3 hours after the fact, booed up on his arm, kissing all over him. And he still lost the fucking case. And that's why I try to tell you guys, don't ever get no fucking money. Because once you get, when you get the money, you get the power. When you get the power, you get the lawsuits.
Why can't we have?
If he just wouldn't have cheated on his wife, he'd be alright.
But his wife probably put him up to it. His wife, bro, he got a ride or die, bitch, bro. Look, when he lost that sexual assault civil case, she literally got right online, bro, and started talking shit to the victim. Was like, bitch, you was a hoe. We all know it. He was just trying to run through your ass real quick. Boy, you wanted more. But the way she was like defending him is like she put it out there basically that they get down like that to a certain degree. But that specific case, she was saying like, no, that was a cheating. But we already done bounced back from this. But it don't change the fact that you are an opportunist. Like he didn't fucking hurt you or beat. She's saying he beat the shit out of her and raped her, and it's hard for me to believe that a nigga with that much money and that much prestige would just, bro, throw. I mean, it's one thing to like manipulate a chick or some shit, but to just literally, this bitch was talking about. This was the funniest thing that she said. She said that he put her in a chokehold as he's raping her and says, "This is how Khabib choked me out."
Hey,
Conor would never say that.
We listen and we don't judge.
No, we judge here.
No,
You better believe that. We listen and then we judge.
No,
boy,
we listen and we don't
we
judge.
need to make a segment called "We Listen Then We Judge." You know what I mean?
We listen then we judge.
No, I can be we listen and we don't judge, but at the end you can say she, something like that.
The thing with it though is I'm starting to see a lot of this shit. Like, I seen R. Kelly's daughter just come out of nowhere now. She's in her 30s and now she's talking about, oh, my dad actually also, I'm a victim as well. I'm sorry, bro. I don't fucking believe you, bro.
To what extent? Did she
he fucking snuck in my room, was touching all over. I'm like, bro, you've been an adult for like stop it, bro. Like these rumors have been going, and he's been in jail for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years now. And your mom left him a long time ago, and now it's just like right as the shit is dying down, now all of a sudden you remember you were a victim and shit. It's just, I think what it is, bro, motherfuckers see this as their way to fame.
Because sometimes you never forget. It's just a matter of coming to terms with or wanting to share that one. Don't tell.
And I try to keep this in my head, like, I'm not a woman, I don't know how.
It happens to men too.
Right, but I don't know how I would be in that situation, so I leave a little bit of room for understanding I don't have. But I'm just saying, I'm leaning to the full, she's full of shit
It
type
ain't
of
never
thing.
gonna stay. That's all.
But are you? Would you say that this is something that does happen? False accusations in bulk nowadays.
False accusations do happen. I'm not gonna say that they don't, but I'm saying you can't completely negate her experience because he does have a type, and at one point she was that type, and sometimes blood don't even fucking know.
That's a good thing. That's a
What
good
I'm
way to
saying
look at
is,
it.
a lot of people don't want to come to terms or even verbalize the fact that they've been a victim. A lot of people have a victim mindset rather than a survivor mindset, and then they don't want to talk about it. But it could be something that happened. They just like fuck it.
Right.
You never know. You could be the voice for somebody that's afraid to say something, even if they are old. But I mean, shit, it ain't our bid. I can make it.
Just saying, I'm still gonna listen. Fuck, bro.
We all
You
listen.
remind me of a Jeep. I can't erase this nigga catalog. Listen, I'm sorry. I gotta keep the music and the person separate. That motherfucker was fire, bro.
If
Like you can't say that he ain't the king of R&B still.
His catalog, you'd be rid of damn near half of fucking R&B.
Everything. Half of us wouldn't be born without this nigga catalog, or had our first experience without his catalog. You know what I mean? But
fix it, Jesus.
anyways, look, now Splash is on the fucking camera. There goes Splash predatorian on Amelia.
You should call Splash so Splash can come to you.
I don't think he knows what his name is really. I think he's still young.
We'll call the bell or something.
Hey, jackass.
Splash.
Not the foot.
Splash.
That's
Splash.
our other cat, and she ain't met him yet.
I'm
Oh,
sick
you're
of
moving.
already.
That's why. Look, hold on.
It's
Let me
you.
try. Come on
Me?
back now. Come on back, little bitch. Come on back more. I need you to come back more.
I can leave.
There it is. Right there. Right. Oh, yeah. Boy. These things are going to take some getting used to, but they're fucking fire, though. Believe that.
You insist.
Okay, right there. Perfect. All right. So, moving forward now. Now we're going to my favorite segment. Can we run the video logo for it? Huh?
Did you give it to him?
The video logo. I showed you where it was at already.
The video logo for that?
Proper grammar.
Oh, yeah.
Proper grammar, guys.
Look, this is what we're going to do. And remember, this is a pilot episode, so we're learning as we go, making sure everything's right, but we want to roll to the proper grammar video logo now. Can you help us with that, X?
Not for your live.
It should say proper grammar on there.
You're going to have to turn everybody off and then get to it. Yep. Does that move up? No, turn on, move the, there you go.
There we go. The proper grammar without debauch today.
Okay,
Without
turn that off and go back to the video and shoot the background.
All right.
Yep.
And we're back.
No.
Somewhere.
Yeah. There you are.
And we're back. What y'all think about that video logo by Amelia? It will be the transitions will be much smoother as we put the show together. Now, with that being said, our proper grammar of the week is a song by B.I. called Cover Girl. So I'm gonna read the original lyrics, and then I'm gonna have Amelia read the proper grammar to that. So if you haven't seen the proper grammar, which you should have, you've been living under a rock if you haven't seen the proper grammar. I take a song that's either recommended to me or that I like.
Leave it just like that.
What now?
I'm talking to X. Go ahead.
How do I get myself more back in here?
Do that thing that you.
Oh, no. That's perfect right there. Okay, so
If you move too much to the left, it's gonna go.
I need to look it up on the damn. It says in the thing how to.
You said this is what you wanted
go
to
back
do.
to the.
Come
Yeah,
this
lean
way.
back to the right. There you go.
Some more. No, why y'all?
Cameras that move on their own is cool still though.
I got you. Go ahead and hit scene 2. I mean, open up scene 1 on the right panel. I got you. Boop. Is that better for you?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
All right, so I'll take a song and and I'm proud of myself for this because not a lot of people can do this how I do it, right? It's just they couldn't do it, right? So,
Surprised that you did it, to be perfectly honest with you.
like in general, or this time, or
I was at first surprised when the song came on. You was like, oh, turn that shit up. That's my song. I said, what?
shit jamming.
Because
This bitch is savage. She does not
you
give a
don't listen
fuck
to a
about,
lot of female rappers.
nah,
And you know that you don't.
especially ones like her. That's the funny thing. I think it's just that bitch be flowing. Like, I don't know if it's like her voice or. And I believe her. I really believe that she's out there manipulating niggas in droves. Like, it's just funny to me. So
Well, of
now,
all the songs she had, I think this was the perfect.
yeah, and it
one to
was your
have.
recommendation too.
Because you
Yeah.
like the song.
But I never thought I would do a female proper grammar, yet here we are. So I basically take these lyrics and I write them in a proper sense. Like if you're talking to Paw that's an 80-year-old white man from Alabama, how he would, what if he was to rewrite what they were saying in proper grammar, what are they really saying so white people can understand, basically? So, racist.
I didn't want to say it.
With that being said, I'm going to read the original lyrics, and then Amelia will read how I did the proper grammar on that. So, with that being said, if you haven't heard the song, it's by B.I.A. Song's called Cover Girl. Original lyrics go like this. Turns out I'm never in a drought. And from what these niggas say, I look better in person. I'm already getting used to the lurking. Man, these bitches come stock. They the regular virgin. Man, look, let me start over. I know it can't be this Coors Light already flowing through this fucking like that. God, yeah. This is like the third or fourth one though, huh?
Okay, go ahead.
Try that again. Turns out I'm never in a drought, and from what these niggas say, I look better in person. I'm already getting used to the lurking. Man, these bitches come stock, they the regular version. Whips German, coins I earned them, bitches baby daddies, I'm still curving. $100,000 car just to slam the doors in. Made him quit the drink cause it was fucking up his organs. Niggas act like Future, but they say they want a Lauren. The irony, quit trying me. Okay, take me out to Barney's if you proud of me. I like baguettes, I like Pateks. Boy, if you drowning me. I'm not fucking no nigga if he don't deserve it. Blew a bag on that pussy cause he know I'm worth it. Amelia, can I please get some proper grammar and etiquette on that?
Okay, I got you. As it turns out, I'm not an individual that deals well with not being financially prevalent. Furthermore, I have been made aware that the community at large agrees unanimously that my good looks are even more intense when in person. Already, I have become accustomed to jealousy and envy, but understanding the source of those emotions come in the form of women that are at lack for a better terminology, off-brand versions of myself. Gives me a great personal satisfaction. Comes to vehicles. For German Autobahn vehicles, as I have an expensive taste in automobiles. Furthermore, in regards to the same women that are envious of me, I would like to make you aware of your significant other's infidelities, as they are constantly approaching me in inappropriate ways. You will be glad to know, however, they are instantly rejected with a harshness, as I am a woman that is not easily impressed. I am the same woman that makes senseless purchases of vehicles that are in the price range of $100,000 or better, not because I need multiple forms of transportation, but simply because I enjoy slamming doors on cars that are overpriced and that underperform.
Talk that shit.
Yeah, man.
Although some may consider me vain, I do such great works of community service, such as assisting admirers of mine to cease substance abuse that have caused major health problems with most of their vital organs, mainly with those that partake in consumption of promethazine and codeine cough syrups. If you have intentions of impressing me in any type of way, I think a trip to the retail store Barney's is definitely first.
You fucking bitch.
As far as what I would require in the form of lavish gifts for you to receive further consideration. I enjoy baguette diamonds, preferably set in a Patek Philippe watch at the very best. Because I do not participate in consensual sex with men that have not first drained their own funds in an attempt to convince me that their lucrative contributions towards my financial future are indeed worth my time and effort. I'm not gonna fucking play with you.
Hey. That's proper grammar, y'all. All right.
God.
So look, man, we will definitely get you. You can either go to the Raw Truth Show's inbox on Facebook, or you could go to the Raw Truth Show 2020 at Gmail, and you can submit any song that you would like to hear me rewrite into proper grammar. So that's definitely something I really enjoy about this show is the proper grammar. It's fire. So y'all get at me. Let me know which one we doing next week. Pick out the most ridiculous rap song you can find or some shit you would just love to hear your white step grandfather rap. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
Your white step.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I love
drop
doing
the
this shit.
submission.
And listen, I was telling Streets, I sat right here and wrote that shit yesterday in like 10 minutes. And every time I read it to somebody, they're like, how the fuck do you? I don't know. It's just, bro, that shit's fun. Like, I go every 4 bars and I just think, like, what are you really saying, though? Like, if you wanted, like, fucking people that are square to understand what you're saying, and then I just do it way over the fucking top. Like, you know what I mean? Use the biggest words available. So, yeah, shout out to Beato with her trifling ass, man. That's
Shout out to the
Crazy.
dictionary.
Shout out to the dictionary, man. I remember, man, when I did all them years in the pen, I had a Bible and a dictionary, and the Bible got boring after a while. I remember just reading the dictionary over and over. So I still think I've reserved a couple of them. I haven't smoked away all the brain cells yet. So we got a couple more proper grammars left in us. So
I want to
okay,
do it proper.
I'm down.
My punishment growing up, my parents used to make me write out of the dictionary. I had to write the word, the definition, and make up my own sentence.
Why don't you do next week's one and I'll read it then? That'd be cool. All right, y'all look, this is a first. I've always actually wanted to read the proper grammars. So that'd be cool. So Amelia's going to, maybe I will pick the song then.
No.
Why?
I'm not going to do a female artist. Can I do a local artist?
Depends on who it is and if I have beef with them or not.
You ain't got beef with him because you don't know him, but the world will know him. He a great artist. I love it.
Can you at least give us his name?
LOA Rooster.
LOA Rooster.
Yeah.
Have I heard of this dude before?
You probably have.
Is he one of RJ's people?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he do comedy too, right?
Yes, he does comedy.
Yeah, I like that guy. Hell yeah, we can definitely fucking shine a light right there. Yeah, do that. Let's do it. All right, cool. So now that we've gotten through that, now we want to move on to the next segment, which will be our last segment for this one. Like we said, it was just a pilot episode, but it is definitely going on the books. So it is episode 1. And we are gonna do now the legendary interview with Jae-Streetz. We're gonna have X roll that beautiful beam footage for the legendary interviews.
No.
Okay, just
No.
keep going.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna do the
Mhm.
legendary interviews, and we'll be right back with you. Jae-Streetz legendary interview. Let's roll it. Roll the beautiful beam footage.
Yes. Go down and down. Yep. There you go. Mute the mic. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Don't worry about legendary interviews. It'll just be them.
And we're back. All right, so this one, yeah, we'll get the cameras right for this one because we're going deep on this one. No diddler.
Real though.
So, all right, man. We got come on, wifey, get it together.
And then what?
It ain't me.
I don't want them to
camera.
see
Jay,
my Thanos
Jay,
collection,
Give
baby.
me
Jay,
Yeah, it,
Jay, come over a little bit.
yeah, it won't.
And then you come over a little bit.
Yeah, the camera wasn't turning. See,
This was my fault for putting it on that group setting, wasn't it?
Yes, as long as you take accountability for this shit.
And I don't think it'll matter once we
Oh,
get our building, because then the
ridiculous.
camera will be set so far back it'll actually make sense. So it's cool learning how to make all
Yeah,
this
that
shit
doesn't
work.
matter how much I turn.
Amen, brother.
That thing is just. So yeah,
Can
just
you
stay
just
that way.
turn the stand in some?
It just keeps
Try.
turning.
It keeps turning
It's
backwards.
Why though? Come with me, motherfucker.
Right,
It's
and it's
getting
gonna
closer
go
that
back.
way.
So yes, you need.
Come with me, motherfucker. Come on.
So yeah, that's the feelings.
All right.
Scoochie, just a little bit. Jay.
No, that's as close as two niggas get to each other right
I
there.
said
Okay,
Jay.
don't worry.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
Okay.
here we are. Probably an interview long overdue. It probably should have been the first one that I ever did, man. But I don't think you were in town. You weren't in town when I first started doing these shows. You would have been the first one. For those that don't know, you know, I want you to kind of give like a basic layout. You know what I'm saying? Um, who you are, where you're from, where you grew up. Let's get that part out of the way real quick.
Who am I? J. Jefferson Scott. Hey, look, I'm originally from Athens, Georgia. All my family, from my mom and my dad, they're all from Athens, Georgia. But he was in the Air Force, so I was ended up born in Germany, Stuttgart, Germany, to be exact, because he was in Air Force on deployment and over there in that time. My mom happened to be over there with him. I was born and stayed there for about a year max, and then we was right back down to Georgia. And then yeah, we would have stayed there, but
Yeah, jumping
you
right in.
know,
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
how did you get? What? Yeah, tell that story. Like, what brought you to Texas?
Yeah, we would have stayed there, but something. All I remember, my mom always telling me was my dad had a dream or a vision that we needed to get up out of there and somehow come to Texas. So he believed God told him to do that. So we got up together and we went to Texas. And then yeah, it was not very long after we got here, he passes away. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know how he passed away this whole time, honestly, up until I turned about 35. I'm 39 now, but I just found out, he had died from AIDS.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But
See, I always,
yeah.
growing up with you, I always thought it was kidney malfunction, and I
Yes,
guess you were
yes.
able to find
Well,
out more to that story.
that's all they told me originally was his kidney failed, which it did, but they didn't say how it failed. And then I didn't find that out until I myself went to the military, got documents, seen his death certificate, and found out it was urea. And it failed from his kidney failed from urea. So I just went with that for a while till I don't know why. 35, I just happened to look in my record, look at it deeply, and then it went further and said, "Oh, urea from AIDS."
Mm. The shit people don't tell you and let you find out on your own,
You gotta
right?
find that out for yourself. But so he died, right? And we're here in I feel like we were in Arlington already. Off of those apartments off of wow, Arbrook, those Arbrook apartments
Matlock?
in Matlock, yeah.
Oh,
Right there.
Winchester or
Winchester
Wingcrest.
apartments. Yeah, wherever it is. Yeah, we stayed off of there. What's that?
Those are some famous apartments. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's over there.
Yeah.
So we was over there, and that's where he had passed away at. And then at the time, whatever church we was at helped us, you know what I'm saying, move ourselves into the house,
Mm-hmm.
over there on Moss Hill, you know what I'm saying. We opened up the whole block, you know what I'm
Gang,
saying.
gang.
They made that block, and we came up in there, you know what I'm saying.
We really were like the first, some of the first residents, like when that neighborhood went up. And that, like I said, I know your story, but for the ones that don't, I might ask questions like as if I don't know. So, uh, before we go anywhere else, like I remember meeting you when I was 6 years old. Um, and I'll jump in right here. So, I'm originally from Detroit. My mom and dad were up in Detroit, beating the shit out of each other, and one thing lead to another. We come down here, and we didn't even move to this neighborhood yet. We were staying off Kelly Elliott still, but my grandma lived in this neighborhood, and we hadn't even got our house there yet, but we eventually did. And I remember thinking to myself, Texas is whack as fuck. Like it just seemed more lively in Michigan, and motherfuckers was outside, and there was kids fucking everywhere. No matter how ghetto shit was, motherfuckers were outside every day. But I couldn't find a goddamn friend to save my fucking life in Texas. And I remember coming outside my grandma's house and just being bored as fuck. And I walked down to the edge of the damn driveway, and I turn and look right, and like 6 houses down, I see you out on the driveway with a goddamn Batmobile. And we talking about the real Batmobile, the Michael Keaton
The original
Batmobile.
one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this was the early 90s at some point in the 90s,
You can't even find that toy no more.
Nah. And
Damn, I wish I had it.
I remember seeing it and saying, before I even thought anything about you, I said, this nigga got the Batmobile, bro. Like, hey, get that Batmobile. I remember
I'm the
saying,
only one with that.
I remember being, hey, hey. And then you looked and
I
I
don't
was
even know
like,
how he saw that from far away. He was far as hell down the
bruh,
street.
I was like, that's the Batmobile. You got that Batmobile? He was like, yeah,
yeah.
check it out.
Come on,
And I was
come on
like,
down here.
and I wasn't supposed to leave from out front my grandma's house. I ain't say a motherfucking word, bro. I just fucking whoosh, start creeping down. And I remember it was like, man, we played together for 5 minutes, and it was just organic as fuck, bro. And
Yeah.
we never fucking separated from that point, bro. It was like we was attached at the hip. So what I do want to ask you though is right around that time we're talking about, what was it like growing up, without a father at all? Having your mom that's a single mom, like what was that time like for you? Like, I know you've always been more of a quiet person and you keep a lot of internal shit to yourself, but how was you really feeling? I know you see, most of us had dads or a stepdad or something. You were one of the only people I remember that just did not have a dad at all. Like, how did that affect you growing up during that time? Like, how did that make you feel, and how did you get through that?
Yeah, for one, that was 30 something years ago at this point. And yeah, I definitely was what, 6, 7 years old. But I definitely always remember a constant uh wanting to prove myself to something. I didn't think about my father. I used to cry apparently a lot, and it was drastic. Um, but after that was over with, it was almost pretty much just like I'm a man in this life, and I have to figure this out type of shit. So I just pretty much was copying off of everybody and looking at everybody else's life
Mm.
and trying to mimic what I feel like I'm supposed to do. Um, I didn't really feel like anything like of a loss or anything because that's all I knew.
I remember,
Everything
yeah,
it was what I was seeing
it
in the
seemed like you
streets
moved through the
and
shit
there.
like butter, you know what I mean? But I know, now that I'm older, I always wondered, like,
Well, let me be fair. I was heavy in the church life. My mother was heavy in the church life. My grandfather, my grandmother, and that brings in the music side as well of the situation. That saved a lot of my life right there. Was music, just not even the singing part. Honestly, the singing part came after the playing the piano part, or just listening to birds sing in harmony and just actually sitting there mimicking the sounds.
I remember it was the coolest thing. You used to play the fucking Michael Myers theme song on the fucking piano. But I thought that shit was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
coolest shit in the world. And I remember too, man, it's almost like fucking hustle and flow. It was like you had one of those fucking, but the way you would play that bitch in the cause you knew a lot of
I actually
tunes and
did that
shit.
before I met you because I would have been 5 when I went to piano recitals. I had to sit there and do the recitals and just really go into the music because I didn't read music. I just listen to it and read and play it back.
So do you feel like early on, let's jump into something. So what were, you know, during that time and going into your teenage years, what was your musical influences, your genres that you dipped into? What kind of music were you listening to back then?
Into my teenage years,
Going from that moment into like, yeah,
all the way
15,
from then.
16,
I mean,
17.
honest to first, it start with my grandfather and my grandmother. They were very musical. He always was playing the piano, singing. She was always singing. Then my mom, she was in choir, and I always traveled with her all around Texas and Louisiana and all that stuff.
Shout out to
Listen,
Mama Sherry.
yeah, shout out to Sherry for real. Like she was always doing the singing for a while there, and then eventually I started singing in the choir and stuff like church and stuff like that, and then school, and then I started listening to shit like Immature and sitting there, be right next to my little fireplace, and
Mhm.
I had a little speaker right there on the fireplace, and I'll just put my face up to the speaker and try to sound exactly like Marquise Houston or Cisco.
And I remember you
Drill,
had
and sit there and listen to it and
I
sing.
remember you had that CD that if you don't remember all that,
Oh fuck!
you wouldn't know 80s baby. But
Tell me why I just showed my son that too. I just
my
showed him
man's
that.
had the all that soundtrack. Say
Fucking
and
Kenan and Kel
wasn't
and all
that
that.
where one of those Immature songs was on?
Immature was on that whole album, or not the whole album, but they was on.
I remember getting turned
Yeah.
on to a lot of that shit because I had a much different musical taste at that age. I was really big into like fucking Metallica and
Yeah, I remember that
80s
shit.
rock, and I had really no interest in like rap or R&B.
Yeah.
Like I had heard none of that shit until I met you. And then I remember listening to Immature with you, and I was like, man, these motherfuckers jam. And uh you know, you've always been able to sing. And, you know, I've watched you use that to your benefit on many damsels in distress in school. Uh,
Smooth it out. Smooth it out.
hey, smooth it out.
Like butter.
When did you actually get into writing your own music?
The very first time I ever wrote my first music was with my cousin Elder in Georgia, because him and his cousins had a studio for the first time with good old Acid Pro. Yeah, yeah.
Did an album on
And that was the
shit.
first
Yeah.
time I ever got on there. Hey, write this, bro. Shit, I don't know how to write. Shit, let's just do it together. So we just sat there and started writing some shit. Wrote a hook down. I need a gangster girl that loves to dress. Out of all the friends, she do the best.
Hold on,
The
I
type
never
of
heard
girl
this shit
that
before.
remember that shit.
You
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
laid that bitch down, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
let that bitch down in the studio next door.
I'm gonna ask him if you still can find that hoe. But yeah, yeah. Then then to be fair, it was probably with Demetrius, my boy Demetrius, first really putting me in the actual studio recording in the big studio, put me in with D&D Records, about to get signed with them, doing all that shit. He taught me how to really write the way with studios, how to stack your vocals, how to track. That's how I learned how to record. This was when I was 16 or 17 years old. And we was doing all that then. And then after that, I just started writing myself by myself.
So moving like through your years, you know what I'm saying? Who else like really influenced you as you were hitting them later teenage years to where you were like, you know, I'm gonna really start kind of pushing my shit because if a lot of people don't know, like your raps are just as good as the singing. So what was your rap influences primarily like who did you listen to get, you know, your idea of bars and shit like that? Like
That can just there's so many like you Nas, you know what I'm saying? Nas was a big influence for one point.
I know I fucking left that All Eyes on Me Tupac down at your house and
Pac.
never got that one back. So
Pac,
I know Pac had to have something to do with it.
oh, of course, Pac, Nas, Pac, you know what I'm saying? All the greats, you know what I'm saying? What, but to be honest with you, it's like local artists, you know what I'm saying? DSR, Fat Bastard, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Tum Tum, man. Lil Ronnie,
Yeah.
like motherfuckers like that. Then Chameleonaire, you know, Paul Wall, all of them, you know what I'm saying? They had me hyped, made me want to start rapping and shit.
I remember hating. I remember I was in prison when that whole. Remember when we were in high school, Swisher House was popping. They were doing the before the Kappa, after the Kappa shit, and that shit was getting up here on the bootlegs. But I remember like when Tipping on Fofos came out, I think I
That
was
was
like on Beto by then. And then it was just an influx of fucking Texas rappers for all of '04,
Mhm.
all of '05,
Mhm.
and into like half of '06. And I remember being in there thinking, God, this is the time to be from Texas. This is the time to be rapping. Um, During that time, you ended up joining the Navy. How did that decision come about?
Man, bruh. So shout out to Alonzo one time. So me and this cat Alonzo, you know, that I met in school, you know what I'm saying, at a time where I decided I didn't want to be good no more. So we just be out in the streets being bad, bro. So we was out here
Badass bastards.
selling dope, robbing motherfuckers, and doing all kind of silly shit, having parties, wilding out. But I realized if I stay doing this, I'm going to end up going. I was really intelligent. You know how I was. I thought about shit a lot, and I thought, you know, if I don't stop right now, I'm gonna be keep doing this shit, and then ain't no telling where I'm gonna end up, and it's probably not gonna be good. So one day at school, the damn recruiter person was just sitting there, you know what I'm saying, and I just got done watching Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis. It's a Navy SEAL movie, and I was like, damn, I know I could do that shit. And this Navy guy shows up at the school the next day. And he's like, "Say, man, what you trying to do after school? What you gonna do?"
So
You know
basically,
what I'm saying?
they came in with the solicitation and got your
Yeah,
ass.
got my ass up in there, and I was like, "All right, fuck it, I'll be a Navy SEAL then, bro."
So from the military, you
Well, before I got to that though, I sat there and did that, went through the whole DEP program for an entire year just to be like, nah, I ain't finna do that. I'm gonna go back in the streets. So me and Alonzo go back in the streets, and I'm doing all that shit, and then but I already signed the paperwork. So here come this chief, you know what I'm saying, at mama house. Yeah, man. Nah, your ass come on, cause you ain't your ass
getting
coming
out of
over
this
here, bro.
contract. Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't finna just leave, bro. Yeah, you get your ass up out the streets. Come on. Get your ass up get up in this booth and wrap your ass up
Right to the Navy.
into the
nigga.
Navy, boy.
So I know
Yeah.
you went. I know. What are some of the you know, we pressed for time a little bit, so we're gonna push through. But what are some of the coolest places that you got to go being a member of the Navy?
Well, if you're talking about deployments, yeah, I mean, one of my favorite places of all time is Rota, Spain. Spain.
Mm.
Man, all over there, all Rota, Sevilla, Cadiz, all up and through there. Beautiful. The environment is beautiful. The sky is beautiful. The beach is beautiful. The women and men are beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. Everybody's cool. They chilling.
Oh,
Ain't
no,
nobody
hold
doing-
on, hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy, we got one on
Everybody-
the sideline said, pause, man. Yo, that was crazy, Jay.
Pause.
That was crazy.
Let
That's
me
crazy.
But everybody's beautiful.
Right.
That's the play. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's beautiful
On the inside.
over there on the inside and out. Pause, bro.
Hey, no diddler. No diddler.
I'm talking about the women, but for the women to the men.
And what about the one of the craziest places? I remember when I was in jail with, right? And you ended up in Okinawa, Japan, right?
I went to Japan. Well, I didn't get to mainland Japan, but I did go to Okinawa. It's beautiful over there. Shout out to Gate 2, which I don't even think they had no more. Shout out to Center Stage and all that, Blue Dragon, Red Dragon. All that there's a lot of places out there that was fun. It was atmosphere, environment, everything there was beautiful.
I'm just
That
gonna ask-
botanical gardens.
I'm just gonna ask.
Everything.
I'm just gonna ask the obvious question. Did you dip into any, you know, Chinese fried rice type of thing? Did you find you you find you a little. Did you hit the sideways with
Did I hit the sideways curve? No, I ain't doing it. I could have definitely. There's definitely a plethora
Because
of
I
situations where
heard
it
you
could have
come off that boat with that fucking uniform on. It's just a pussy magnet.
There was that, but that was that. That was that everywhere. It was that everywhere. It don't matter. The Okinawa, Japan, Spain, New York. You know what I'm saying? When we go to New York, it was like that. We have to wear all our dress whites. And that night, every dude wearing a dress white, you getting some if you want it.
So if you in the Navy and you're traveling, I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee. You know, wherever you touch down at, you know, what I mean, you get laid.
Yeah, unless you just don't want to. That's
I
on.
wonder why all single niggas don't just enroll in. You know what I mean? Shit.
Because it's not sustainable, bro. That's not a sustainable.
Oh,
life,
it
bro.
could be
You know what I'm saying?
sustainable, I'm
That's
sure.
if you want to do that, you can. There's dudes who do it, but it's not
So
sustainable.
so you do your time in the military, you come out, you get married, and you were married for 10 years,
I was married for 13 years, bro.
13
I was
years.
together for like 14. 14.
Oh man, I don't fucking remember for goddamn anniversary dates of friends and shit. I just remember the fallout when that shit didn't go through. You know what I'm saying? So, so whenever you know, it's no secret that you had a divorce, and how hard was that? You know, to get through, and did it kind of destroy any kind of faith you have in any marriages in the future?
All the girls know.
How
Look
all
into the camera.
For all these, for
Yo.
all these flea bags that are tuning in,
Please.
they want to know.
We don't want the
Listen,
flea bags.
man.
Stay there.
I'll say this, man. It made me learn how to be a man the right way.
Oh, Jay.
You know what I'm saying? Along with several other circumstances that came after that. It made me learn how to be a man the right way. I had to learn how to grow up
I feel
and
personally,
realize what it really is about. You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
personally,
I learned that it's not Disneyland. It's not Walt Disney World movies and Nickelodeon shows.
I
And
feel
it's
like
not
it turned
movies
you
and
into
shit.
I feel like after it was all done, it turned you into a nigga that was more on the tip of, I definitely ain't about to let no bitch play with me no more. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit. So do you feel like it grew you as a person?
It definitely put me into the next circumstance that I had on defense. I was on defense. I'll say that I was on defense on the next one. And then after that next one, I understood the whole game after that. So there's nothing to be defensive about.
Like Jennifer's bitch.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to be defensive about. It's to be understanding. Understanding. I'm gonna understand. I understand the game now. I understand it. Some shit you might have to go through it. A lot of people be like, "Hey, don't get married. Don't be in this relationship." No, motherfucker, you might have to learn some shit.
And I feel like that's something that I don't want to rush through. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause right here, and I think you're gonna be the only person in the history of the Raw Truth Show that will have a part 2 to your legendary interview. So next week or the week after, we're gonna bring Jae-Streetz back, and we're gonna take it. We gonna put another 35 minutes on top of this because I do like a lot of your viewpoints, and they're not traditional, and they're controversial, some of them, but to me, a lot of them make sense, and I think it'd be dope for us to all kind of have a conversation about some of those viewpoints. So next week or the week after next week, we were going to come strong with an episode where everything is put together perfectly. We're going to figure these cameras out, and we're going to put our
haircuts.
These hoes going to stop moonwalking to the right and moonwalking to the left.
Oh, here you go.
Possessed ass cameras and shit.
No,
Look, there you go. But look, man, we hope y'all enjoyed the show. Big shout out to my man's ex. Big shouts out to Amelia. Big shouts out to my wife. Listen, man, Bridge Builders Multimedia, man. This is where this show's eventually gonna be exclusive at. That is the brand.
We back, baby.
We back. Yeah. Gang, gang, bang, bang, and we're gonna be bringing y'all nothing but a shitload of content. You know, Bridge builders, man. The double B's, man. Let's work. We out.
Pause.